Lord Brunson, back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. So, unless you've been hiding under a rock, we want to know. Like I said we would be. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to beat our chest about. We supposed to take care of light work, the light work that is the Atlanta Falcons. We supposed to take care of that light work. Now, this is the keys to victory very early. We could do this on a Tuesday. This is the keys to victory to beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the non-existent Buccaneers. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick looked good, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, don't expect him to explode like that again. Now, I watched the game twice. I digested it. To me, it looked like, to be 100% honest, it looked like the Saints were rusty. It looked like the Saints are a product of, just like a lot of teams in week one, of not playing their stars in the preseason, limiting the snaps to stars in the preseason, which I think it doesn't really affect limiting snaps to top tier quarterbacks and quarterbacks with something under their belt, like a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or a Drew Brees, a Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. Who else? Eli Manning. And Russell Wilson. That's it. If I didn't name you, Cam Newton. Cam Newton. If I didn't name you, you need to be playing in the preseason. You need to be getting some snaps under your belt. I don't know when these young quarterbacks get so privileged that they feel as though that they don't have to play in the preseason. And yes, I didn't name Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan needs to play in the preseason too. So does Derek Carr. If you're not an elite quarterback, you need to be playing in the preseason. Carson Wentz don't have to play in the preseason, but I'm pretty sure he would have got snaps. He would have got the same amount of snaps that Nick Foles got. And a lot of these teams that came out flat in week one are a product of not playing their quarterbacks or their top talent in the preseason. You know, hence Dak Prescott, why he looked so bad. Why he looks so bad. A lot of people want to keep asking me, why do I keep coming down on the Dallas Cowboys? Why the hell shouldn't I? Why not? The Cowboys are a division rival. That's why I come down on division rivals. The Cowboys are not exempt from this smoke. We play them twice a year. They look terrible. They should have played those bums more in the preseason, and they would have looked less trash, but they still would have lost. But anyway, on to my point. The Saints came out flat. But the more alarming thing about why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was able to explode like that is the Saints couldn't get any pressure. To me, it looks like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line is underrated, and the New Orleans Saints cornerback situation is overrated. That guy Williams who blew that tackle, he was getting torched. He started off right where he left off. That guy that blew that tackle against Stephon Diggs was getting flame broiled. Lattimore was getting flame broiled. Too much time in the pocket for Fitzpatrick, and that is not going to be our problem. That is not going to be our problem. So that's one of the keys to victory against the Tampa Bay Bucs, is not to give Fitzpatrick time. Don't make Fitzpatrick get uncomfortable. Let's remind him that he is a backup. And when we can put a hit on him, put a hit on him. Let's remind Fitzpatrick that he is a backup. Let's remind him of who he is. I think he's capable of taking Winston's job, but it won't be on a win on us. It won't be on a win on us. We need this game. We need every game while Carson Wentz is out. Simply because Carson Wentz has to come back and pick up where we left off. So the roles have reversed for the Eagles quarterbacking situation due to injury. Last year, Carson Wentz was responsible for starting the engine, getting the engine ready, getting the car warm, and Nick Foles was able to take over. So now it's looking like Foles is going to have to get the car warm for Carson so Carson could take over. You know what I'm saying? So Carson could take over. The roles have switched. I believe they're both capable of doing it, which is why we are 1-0 right now. So we want to make Ryan Fitzpatrick uncomfortable. An interesting stat that I believe Doug will fix a couple things. These are two things I believe Doug Peterson will fix going into this week 2 matchup. I believe he will start Ajayi. Now when you have the depth that we have, you can't be mad at him for trying things out at first. You can't be mad at him, but a no-brainer is to start Ajayi. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish in the first game. I guess Sproul's been practicing really well, but you don't want to start off with a smaller running back. You want to establish your big guy to wear them down. I guess his thing was to let Sproles eat, then let Ajayi wear them down in the second half. you want to start off with Ajayi as early as possible. Ajayi is a bell cow. The more carries he gets, the more dangerous he can be. He's hard to bring down. So I think he realizes that. Another interesting stat. The Atlanta Falcons averaged 3.6 yards per play when Michael Bennett was on the field. I believe it was 40 snaps, something like that, 40 snaps. I don't know if I got that wrong. When Michael Bennett was off the field, they almost averaged about 6 yards per play, something like that. So not starting Haloti Ngata this time and starting Michael Bennett and then rotating Haloti Ngata might be the best result. And I think he'll see that. I think he'll figure that out. So let's get Michael Bennett in there early and often, especially in Derek Barnett's position. He was making rookie mistakes, lining up in a neutral zone, but it was the first game. It was the first game, and we came out with a win. So the first game is not no excuse for anybody else. It ain't no excuse for us. Way too many penalties. That brings me to my next key to victory. So the first key was making Ryan Fitzpatrick uncomfortable. Let's remind him who he is. The second key is to get your key personnel in early. Get your key personnel in early. Let's rotate. Let's get Michael Bennett more, and let's get Haloti Ngata a little less. Let's get Haloti Ngata in there when we know they're going to run. You know what I mean? Mix it up a little bit. Start Michael Bennett. Start Ajayi. Those are two keys. That's the two keys right there. The third key to victory would be the coverages. So I think Deshaun Jackson may not even be playing due to a concussion protocol. He might be sitting out. I don't think he's getting cleared that early. So that's one less guy that can destroy us that we got to worry about. So we want to make sure that we keep a lot of eyes on that tight end, keep a lot of eyes on Evans, and we should be good. With them missing Deshaun Jackson, I feel like that we have more than enough cornerbacks that can mitigate any attack that they can throw at us. They weren't scared to throw the ball. Ryan Fitzpatrick ain't scared to run. Contain Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's a lot of things we got to do to win this game. Thankful that the Saints laid the eggs, so now we know what we got to watch out for. That film and that game tape will be very valuable to us moving forward. And I believe we will come out victorious with like a score of 28-13. I believe we will stuff these guys. We will force Fitzpatrick into bad throws. That's what the Saints didn't do. The Saints sat back there. I don't know what they were doing. They didn't get any pressure on this man. They sat back there and let him throw the ball. Basically, they sat back there and let him throw the ball. And when you got a Deshaun Jackson who scored twice, when you got him running wild like that, you know. But this is why I think that win was a fluke for the Bucs. I don't think it was as much as a fluke, but I think that when you put up 48 and give up 40, you have a team down by, I think they had them down by 3 touchdowns at one point. And they were able to rally back. There's weaknesses in that defense. They got exposed. The defense got exposed. They just scored more than the opposing offense. And that team had to come back. They had a fluke fumble return for a touchdown. Just a lot of fluky stuff was happening in that game. So those are some of the keys to victory. I'm pretty sure that there's more. We want to rotate our big men like we've been doing. We want to establish the run, I think, in this game. I think in this game it's vital to establish the run for sure. And that way we can relieve some pressure on Nick. I want to see Nick look good. And I think Nick can look good against this team. They have a good linebacking core, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's one thing I did see looking at the tape. Their linebackers can stay with some people, but they can't stay with Kamara. And we got 2 dudes who have Kamara-like abilities, and Corey Kmet and Darren Sproles. So breaking down this game field was easy. We use our running backs. We use our small, shifty running backs in the passing game. We did not implement the screen game too much. We didn't implement the screen game basically at all. So, you know, Mike Wallace in the screen game should be big for this game. Should be big. Mike Wallace in the screen game should be big. Nelson Aguilar in the screen game should be big this week. You know what I mean? Running backs in the screen game should be big. We should not be forcing anything down the field because the running lanes will be there and the short and intermittent passes will be there. You know what I mean? So I think we're good. I think we're good. 28-13 is my score prediction. Leave any comments that you think should be added to the keys to victory for this week. I don't see this team as a threat. I am not worrying about Fitzpatrick this week. Maybe next week after this game, he'll bounce back and do something good again. But it's not happening this week. It's not happening this week. Sunday Night Football is a big game. It's a division game. I believe the New York Giants will be successful in taking out the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have absolutely nothing. They have nothing. And that's going to be the first team that's going to be 0-2 within a division with a division loss. So they're kind of laying in their bed already. This is already a game that's a must-win game for both of these teams. So I expect Odell Beckham to pick apart that secondary. That's that. I'm not sure who the Cardinals play, but I'm sorry. I'm not sure who the Redskins play, but I will keep an eye on what the Redskins are doing as well, because they did look impressive against the Cardinals, but it is the Cardinals. So that's the keys to victory. You know what I mean? If you got any comments, whatever, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that stuff to the video. Turn your notifications on so you can know when you're getting something from Lord Brunson. This is going to be a very eventful season on the Super Bowl defense. You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we stay tuned and make sure that we're in a groove and we in sync together, because we all we got, we all we need. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles.